Hi, I'm Cristiana. I'm a tour guide and I'm representing also the consortium of the producers, the Consorzio del Formaggio Parmigiano Reggiano. I'm here to explain to you how the cheese is made, and we are in the Santo Stefano cheese factory, one of the 340 cheese factories producing Parmigiano Reggiano.
Which town are we in here?
We are nearby Parma,
Yes.
in the little town of Basilica Goiano,
Okay.
and we are in the Po River Valley, in the middle of Emilia-Romagna. Our region is Emilia-Romagna. Parmigiano Reggiano can only be made in a specific area, which includes the central part of our region, Emilia-Romagna. It can only be made here, only with the milk of the same area, and the cows must eat the food, the fodder, the hay of the same place. Cheeses are just resting. They need to be formed and dried. So into the shape, wrapped into the cloth. The water, the whey is drained out. And after 2 hours, the cloth, which is wrapping the cheese, will be changed with another one.
Yeah.
And the cheese will be turned upside down. After 2 hours, this side will be completely flat. After another 2 hours, also the other side will be flat. And the shape is becoming a regular shape.
Bene. And so we'll stay here like 24 hours?
Yes, but this evening, so after about 10 hours, at the end of the day, the cloth will be removed and what we call the marking band will be inserted into the shape around the cheese for one night. And in one night, all the most important information will be stenciled forever on the rind of the cheese. The most important words, of course, are Parmigiano Reggiano, Parmigiano Reggiano, written many, many times. The brand is just in Italian. The words are made of pin dots, the letters are made of pin dots. From this you get also the number of the cheese factory, the month and the year of production, which is set for September 24. And Parmigiano Reggiano branded, and the approval of the European Health Agency. You can see an empty space which will host the Fire brand only when the cheese will be tested and approved. That happens 1 year later.
Quali sono gli ingredienti? Which ingredients are needed to make the cheese?
By now, there are just milk, 2 different milk. Yesterday evening, partially skimmed milk.
Yeah.
This morning, whole milk mixed together. The whey, which was the starter, and the rennet. But we need another ingredient to preserve the cheese for its long aging.
I guess it's the salt.
That's In this room, the cheeses will be salted. You will see these huge vats into which there's the brine, water saturated with sea salt, kitchen salt, where the cheeses will be immersed for about 16, 17 days. And during this brining, a natural chemical process of osmosis takes place. The salt from the water gets inside the cheese, while fat and moisture will be released. That's why the cheeses will lose in a very short time the 5% of their initial weight, and the rind will become very hard.
What kind of salt is this one? I see usually when I cook in the kitchen I use sea salt because I want the flavor of the algae, of the sea. But here I think that this comes from Maine.
Yes, which is not very common because
Yeah.
in many other factories they use sea salt from southern Italy.
Yeah.
But they can use the salt. These come from Austria, from the Austrian Alps, so from the mine. But that is not, the discipline allows any kind of salt. I can tell you a thing. During the war II, Parma was short of salt because it is far from the salt. And they were using the water of the spa with a high salt content.
Yes.
And the production went on also during the war. So, and it worked as
Good,
well.
good. Cristiana, what's happening in this room?
In this room, the cheese are aging, seasoning.
So they are staying here for about 2 years, I understand.
At least 1 year until they will be approved, checked and approved or rejected sometimes. And then to get perfect aging time, you need 24 months, 2 years. But the cheeses are not just sleeping like this. Every week they need to be turned upside down. And you can see that the cheeses on the top are sweating, we say. They are leaving their summer fermentation since we are in summer, as it is
And
usual.
what's the best temperature to have this cheese to ferment?
You know, despite the fact that we can have humidity control, temperature control, a cheese needs to season, to live seasons. So it needs to slow down its fermentation in the winter when it is very cold, while the fermentation are fastened in the summer. So they live winter, summer, and 2 whole summers will get to perfect quality and conditions.
Okay, this cheese here, you see, is made February 24. So many months is this? 6, 7, 8, 7 months, and so has no
Fire ring.
No fire ring. So this has a fire ring that is selected as a good Parmigiano. This is going to take another 3-4 months before to be selected. Okay, and this is the hammer that they use to select the cheese. Now Cristiana is going to show up as how to do it. So I'm going to move the cheese.
It is tapped with this special hammer, which is made of a metallic lid, and they do the tapping when cheeses are almost 1 year old.
And what's the sound?
The tapping takes place everywhere, in one plate, in one half, in the other plate, and in the second half. And the tapping needs to be, the sound needs to be the same everywhere. It means that the cheese is full, no halo, no air is inside. In case a different sound is heard in a position, this will tell the cheese expert the problem. If I keep my hand in the wrong position, I provide a different sound. That is the sound of a problem. There is a halo if the sound is like this, and the halo will give origin to wrong fermentation. Gas will be developed inside, and above all during the summer when cheese are fermented, that area will be affected by a larger problem. The cheese will be rejected and the rind will be completely scraped off with a machine in order to cancel any reference with the words Parmigiano Reggiano is just cheese. We have a tasting of 4 different ages, which are 12 months, just approved, 24 months, fully ripened, 36 months, an old cheese, 60 months, a very old
60
cheese.
months is 5 years old.
Yes, yes,
Wow.
it is.
I see the color there.
You can distinguish different colors and
Yes.
different texture. If you look at the 12 months old
12 months cheese, what do we use it for?
eaten by chunks, sliced on pizza, on carpaccio. It's
Okay.
nice, it's
What about the
agreeable.
24?
We mostly grate the cheese, but it's so excellent also eaten by chunks as
Okay,
well.
so we grate it for pasta.
For pasta.
Pasta.
The pasta.
And to stuff ravioli, tortellini especially.
Yes, and also this one is better, 36 for the Christmas pasta.
Yeah.
Our annolini, as you call it, tortellini, because
Sì.
you are from Romagna.
I call it cappelletti from Romagna.
Cappelletti, yes, I was wrong. We call them annolini. But
Tortellini is in the middle,
in
Bologna.
the middle, and also, and anyway, we need a more tasty cheese for the filling.
Okay.
Well, the last one, it is difficult to say how to eat, how to consume this cheese. I think by chance with a good glass of wine.
Yes, this we can have it with a nice old balsamic vinegar.
That
Okay,
is an
25 years a
excellent,
drop
excellent,
of that. Or
but also
my,
this.
or my favorite, something like that, will be with caramelized figs
Ah, yes.
or honey,
Honey, yes.
because the honey balance the
Yes,
the
yes,
saltiness of the
saltiness
cheese. So.
Also, the look is very different. A very plain and uniform color for the youngest cheese.
Yes.
You see, like this, no crystals. While you can start to distinguish white little dots in the 24 months cheese, which are more and more crystallized in the 36 months old cheese to be really very large and with a very different color in a very old cheese.
What creates those crystallized?
Those crystals are crystals of an amino acid called tyrosine. Tyrosina. You should know that during the second summer, the second intense fermentation, the long chains of protein will break down into shorter parts until amino acids will be pushed out from the chain of protein. One of them, the tyrosine, starts to crystallize and it becomes visible. It is a very good symbol of a full aging. Let's start the tasting. We always use this kind.
I'm ready for that.
We only use this kind of knife with this edge. This is young, very soft. It's not very easy to cut in because, you know. Now, you try, pick it up.
I just picked the biggest one.
Good. But press before it. Oh, you are too fast. You should have pressed a little bit to prove that it is very soft. You break and
Yes.
smell. I smell the milk. And we start the chewing. It takes time because it's very compact, a little bit rubber, which it is typical of a very young cheese of that age, 12 months only.
Very good.
We are doing the 24 months old, which is fully ripened. We cut some chunks like this, okay? We pick it up.
So let me see.
It is harder, definitely harder because young. Break and smell. And you should smell a good perfume of exotic fruit, we say, usually. We try the chunk. It is definitely more crumbling.
Yes.
It
It's
is
a lot more.
dissolved.
A little bit more. Let's say spicy.
Spicy a little bit. Very often the flavors are connected to nuts. Sometimes sembra più vecchio questo.
Here we are trying the 36 months. Let's see how this tastes now. Because this will start to be very pungent. Grazie.
Put it
So,
very crumbly, because if I separate the crumbles
yeah.
fall. I smell it very spicy. Oh, mi sembra più giovane dell'altro. It's a fat cheese, a little bit fatter than the other. Maybe it's a summer production, because in the summer the milk has got a little higher fat content. In my opinion, it's similar to melt butter, the taste that
yes.
I can that I can taste.
It's more buttery than that one over
yes, yes.
Finally, we are at the 60 months old, so 5 years. Can I cut this?
Yes, please. Yes, it must be harder, definitely.
Look at the cristallini. It smells really like something that is very aged.
Very, very old. I tried to.
Has a flavor of dried fruit.
Yes.
It reminds me of the figs, the ripe figs.
And at the end, it's a little bit bitter. Like bitter and sour, probably.
It's a 60 months old.
No, it's quite
cheese.
rare. It's not very common. And another thing I can tell you is that all cheeses are different from each, or at least there are only 2 cheeses which are exactly the same. The 2 cheeses coming that morning from the same cauldron, because maybe in the next cauldron they are processing another farm's milk, and something can be different, despite the disciplinary is the same for everybody. As a consortium of the producers, this year we celebrate 90 years after the consortium was born. It is one of the oldest in Italy. We are the second oldest consortium. The oldest one are the Chianti Wine Producers Consortium.
Cristiana, thank you for having us in here and explain all those things. Thanks for your time, and I'm really upset because I have to leave. I'd like to stay here and maybe to sleep in some of those corner here. So
together with cheeses.
With cheese, hey, who doesn't want to sleep inside here?
Thank you. I thank you very much for your visit. You came from such far away place to try our very local cheese.
Every time I come in a place like that, I will have a goosebump.
Thank you.
You're welcome.